Today's world is on edge. From Washington to Caracas, from Tehran to Doha, the US President has posted online that he is the acting President of Venezuela, a move that shakes international norms and ignites global controversy. Well, this comes right after a US military strike in Venezuela, where the Venezuelan president was captured and taken to New York to face charges. In the same breath, Trump claims military options are being evaluated against Iran. Greenland is on the table, and oil politics are reshaping hemispheric power. We are going to dissect every angle, the political, the military, the legal, and show you what this means for global order today. This is unprecedented geopolitics, and it's happening right now. Let's break it down. Segment 1. The Venezuela claim. Start with explosive fact. On January 12, 2026, US President Donald Trump posted an image on his social platform, Truth Social, calling himself the acting president of Venezuela. Incumbent January 2026. Well, this image looked like a modified Wikipedia page listing him with official titles, both as US President and unusually as Venezuela's acting president. Well, this declaration followed a major US military strike in Venezuela on January 3rd, during which Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife were captured by US forces and flown to New York for trial on drug trafficking and terrorism charges. Well, inside Venezuela, Delcy Rodríguez, Maduro's vice president, was sworn in as interim president by the Supreme Tribunal. That is the actual legal authority in Caracas, not Trump's online declaration. This is unprecedented. A sitting US president symbolically declares authority over another nation's leadership, bypassing any recognized international legal framework. Segment 2. Military posture and Iran. Meanwhile, Trump did not stop at Venezuela. He told the media on board his aircraft that the US military is pushing the red line forward and evaluating all strong options against Iran, including possible military actions. He said the situation inside Iran with protests and disorder requires decisive response and that multiple operational plans are being reviewed. He even suggested restoring internet access inside Iran, hinting at discussions with tech billionaires like Elon Musk to get connectivity flowing. Here what we see is a consistent pattern. America is signaling not restraint, but readiness to escalate across multiple fronts. Segment 3. Border security versus human rights narrative. Next, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi of Iran reacted strongly to another story. He said that an innocent American mother of 3 was shot by a US immigration agent, with the US administration calling her vile internal terrorist, while Trump called it self-defense. Homeland Security then issued a warning to US citizens domestically. Meanwhile, Araghchi compared that with the real terrorists in Iran killing police while being observed and, according to him, supported by elements linked to Mossad, criticized strongly on the world stage. Well, this segment illustrates how both superpowers use security language, but with contrasting narrative. In one case, labeling civilians as terrorists, in the other, portraying real insurgent groups as terror threats. Segment 4. Iran strategy reiterated. Trump repeated that strong military options against Iran are being considered while en route from Florida to Washington. He emphasized that US military operation could include full-scale action should Tehran's domestic instability continue. He claimed large protests are destroying Iran and signaling that the US could step in anytime more forcefully as circumstances develop. This is not just talk. Moving from rhetoric to deployment, consideration is a dangerous escalation, especially given the history of the US-Iran conflicts. Segment 5. India diplomacy failures. Switching theaters, another major story. India's government has reportedly failed to conceal embarrassment after the rearrest of a former Indian Navy officer in Qatar. Even the Indian Express acknowledged this as a global humiliation for Indian military prestige, showing weak diplomatic handling and raising questions about military professionalism. This serves as a contrast. While the US spins global power narratives and deployments with force, other nations are struggling diplomatically just to safeguard their own personnel overseas. Segment 6, Pakistan Counselor Advisory. Back to regional effects. Pakistan's ambassador in Iran, Ambassador Mudassir Tipu, said Pakistani citizens in Iran affected by WhatsApp disruptions can contact the embassy via landline, which is operational. He urged Pakistani travelers at the Afghan border to arrive 4 hours early and noted the embassy is coordinating with Iranian authorities. Many Pakistani students have already returned, while others must finalize their paperwork before leaving. Segment 7. Global protests and diplomacy. Finally, solidarity protests in support of Iranian demonstrators occurred in Athens, Paris, Los Angeles, and London. In London, protesters removed the Iranian flag from the Iranian embassy. In response, Iran summoned the British ambassador to protest that act, underscoring how diplomatic tensions continue to ripple outward. Well, this shows that global civil movements now intersect directly with diplomatic incidents and state reactions. So now let's wrap up. Here's the truth. A US president publicly claims leadership of another sovereign nation's government online. Military options against Iran are being openly discussed. Global protests are reshaping diplomatic behavior, and world powers are watching and reacting in real time. This is not theory. This is world politics in motion, and it will define a generation of geopolitical risk. Stay with me, because this story is not over yet. Keep watching 360 Digital English. I am your very own Fariha Farooq. Take care and God bless.